This is the story how I got bit by my dog. So let's get started. So I was talking to one of my friends on FaceTime and was talking about random ass stuff like gaming and whatever the fuck. And then I was getting a bit bored, so I came out my room and started to show my friend my dog. Because at the time my friend didn't really know what my dog looked at a little bit. But anyway, after 4-5 minutes or some shit like that, I did the most stupidest thing I could ever done. My dog was getting tired and needed some rest. And me being the dummy, I decided to lay on my dog, and my friend warned me. He said something like this or something.
You should leave your dog alone and let her get rest.
And me being a fucking asshole, I didn't listen to him, and then a minute later that's when the incident happened. So my dog, Zelda is her name, bit me on the lip, and I had to go to the hospital to get stitches. But let's go a little before I went to the hospital. So when my mother came home from Walmart, I opened the door and I came out and showed my lip to her. And then she instantly said, "Oh my god, what the fuck happened to your lip?" she said, me and being scared and me thinking I was going to die or some shit because blood was coming out. I was just petting her and then she jumped on me. And yes, I lied, because if I told her the truth my ass was going to be cooked. And then my stepdad came up to me and looked at my lip and said what happened, and I said the same thing I told my mother. And then my mother came out the house and got in the car and my stepdad was rubbing his face and hair shocked as he stood there. And then we went to the hospital and my mother was mad as fuck, mumbling something under her breath. And then we got out the hospital with stitches on my lip, and then we went to my dad's house and show him. My daddy was a little bit shocked as well. And then I went to school and people were shocked as hell saying, "OMG, what happened to your lip, or are you okay?" And I was only in 5th grade when this happened, and I didn't know any better. But for Zelda, she had to stay in the house for 10 days, and if she was out, it was a game over for her. But there is something I forgot to say. While we were driving to the hospital, my mother called my brother, and when he answered, she went Dragon Ball Z on this man and it went like this. "James got bit on the fucking lip, and why the fuck weren't you there to stop him, and this is why you need to be in the house." But let's see about my brother. My brother was living his best life in a barn which is in our backyard or some shit, and every time my mother leaves for work, she says, "Watch my son," and it doesn't look like he was watching me. Apparently he was going to get something or lay down in his room, but after for a few weeks or some shit, I got the stitches out and it hurt as fuck. After I got stitches out, the doctor said I was way more better than the adults screaming in pain or something. Even a few weeks ago the doctor said the same thing as the guy taking my stitches out. But now, let's go to the next one to see how I got bit again. So I was on my bus on the way home, and when I got home, the first thing I did was saying hello to my brother and going to my snacks. As soon as I grabbed my snacks, I was about to go upstairs and until my dog just backed up and looked at me, and then I kicked her out of my way. And then she started acting crazy for no entirely reason, and I only moved her out of my way, not kick her. Anyway, I got bit on the arm. But luckily, I only got a scratch on my skin, and then she tried to bite me on my foot, but luckily I had my shoes on, and I told my brother to get the dog and he was standing there, and this was on Thursday or last week. And then my stepfather came out and was saying what was going on. My brother was explaining what was happening. Then my mother came out and asked what was happening. I told her that she was trying to jump on me for my snacks. She didn't listen to me, and she thought I was lying as usual since she doesn't never believe me about this dog. And his dog has been doing some very crazy stuff and she still doesn't believe me. And let me tell you, sometimes I play with the dog, but now I don't sometimes, and every time something happens, she don't believe me. But then I got used to it, and I never ever looked at the dog again. Anyways, that's the story about how I got bit twice. And there is actually something I forgot to say before the end of the video. When I got bit on the lip, she said she was going to sell or give away the dog. This dog does crazy stuff and the dog is still here. Like for example, like this. A few months ago or whatever, my stepsister was going in her room and then the dog was acting crazy and jumped on her. And you don't wanna know the whole story to it. But anyway, bye bye.